Hello, everyone. So today I would like to quickly go through the Chapter 5 homework with all of you. You have already handed in this homework to me a few weeks before, but we have the typhoon, so therefore we have skipped one lessons. And on the other hand, we also have the food test that we would like to perform. So in this case, I could not distribute back the homework to you. So in this case, I would like to quickly use this homework, maybe this video serve as a revisions to you. And for the Chapter 5 homework, I will distribute to you tomorrow, which is Tuesday, so that you can quickly, have a look on your homework and see what will be the mistake, that you have, so that you can have the revisions at home. So now, so you can see that, this first for the first question of Chapter 5 homework, is related to DCP/IP solution. It is similar to the questions that we needed in the uniform test. So if you still remember that, in fact, DCP/IP solution is used to measure or to test the presence of vitamin C. So if there is a DCP/IP solution, this means that we can sorry, if the juice can decolorize the DCP/IP solution, then that means it has sufficient amount of vitamin C. But now, based on the number of drops that we needed to decolorize the 1 cm with the same amount of DCP/PIP solution, then we will notice that the least amount of um drops needed to decolorize the DCP/IP solution will have the highest concentration of vitamin C. Okay, so uh, if it has the least amount, meaning that least drops needed to decolorize the DCP/IP solution, that it has the highest or it has the higher concentration of vitamin C. So based on this, we can see that there is a deficiency disease, which is the scurvy. So for this type of disease, it is deficient, or it meaning that it has insufficient of vitamin C in our body. So therefore, it would be better for us to drink those fruit juice contain a higher concentration of vitamin C, so it can supplement for our body to have enough or sufficient amount of vitamin C. So therefore, the answer here would be B, which is the fruit juice Q. Okay. Next, so why we need to repeat measurement? Why we need to do the repeated measurement and take the average? Because without, what we would like to do, in fact, we would like to increase what we call the reliability. So what means the reliability? Meaning that we would like to minimize the effects of individual error, because maybe each of them, they may be slightly different. And these different may be due to the individual error. So in this case, by repeated measurement, when we take the average, we can minimize the effect of the individual's error. So therefore, the repeated measurement and also taking average of the result, we would like to increase the reliability. So therefore, the answer here will be A. I say okay. So next, what will be the third questions? So in this case, we can see that there will be a diet. There are several different types of diet, and it is most suitable for a person who's suffering from two different diseases, which is the first one, which is the constipation, and also the second one would be the anemia. So in this case, we can see that there are two types of uh disease. So in this case, so think about constipation and also anemia. So in this case, we can see that so constipation meaning that it is lack of dietary fiber. For the another one, which is lack of iron. Then in this case, we need to think any food that is rich in these two things. So by looking at it, by looking at these two meals, okay, we can see that in fact, okay, the beef, it would, because it contains a lot of uh, 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 blood, okay, and these blood, in fact, it contain the iron. So C, okay, so it would be a one of the possible, okay, or one of the meal that it is most suitable for a person who's suffering from the anemia. But then on the other hand, okay, constipation, we need to look for something that is rich in dietary fiber. And at the same time, when we look at it, okay, we can see that most, okay, of the food here, only the wholemeal bread and also the orange juice will contain the dietary fiber. So, but if you look at the textbook, in fact, the wholemeal bread, it contains more dietary fiber than the orange juice. So therefore, it will be better for us to have, okay, the beef, wholemeal bread, and also the milk as, or it will be as a better diet for the person who is suffering from these two diseases. Next, which of the following statement about diet is incorrect? Okay, so it is important for us to think of the diet, okay, because diet it referring to what we eat, what we intake, okay. So when we talk about what we intake, in fact, we are referring to the um our health, our healthy lifestyles. So if you still remember, in fact, the 5.2, we are referring to the healthy lifestyles. So therefore, normally when we talk about the diet, okay, we are referring to the balanced diet, okay? So in this case, we can see that, okay, people at different ages and different body size, they will have different dietary requirement. That is correct. And next, a balanced diet consists of three main food substances in the right amount. So these three main food substances, we are referring to the carbohydrates, protein, and also the um, carbohydrates, protein, and also the lipid. Okay, these three main food substance. Okay, so is it we are in the right amount or whether okay, it is we should um have the same amount or not. So in fact, okay, it is not should not have the same amount. Okay, we should have the correct proportion. Maybe carbohydrates shall has the highest proportion, while on the other hand, the second higher would be the protein, and lastly would be the lipid. Okay, so these would be some of the uh, um, uh, idea that we should uh, 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 think of. Okay, so in this case, we can see that. Okay, so we do not have the right amount of like foods, the main food substance, but we do have the correct proportion, or what we say that the right proportion. So in this case, the answer here would be B. It is not correct. Okay, it is not correct. While the other, like balanced diet, is essential to maintaining the health. Yes, it's correct. Obesity is a health problem that's caused by the improper diet. Maybe we eat too many uh, fats or lipid, etc. Then this may cause or the obesity. Okay. Next, okay, the diets for vegetarian usually include beans to make up for their uh, life. This is because the beans contain a lot of proteins. Okay. Normally, for example, just inside the talk, okay, the um the extended study talk, we will notice that in fact the soybean, okay, the 20% of the soybean is made up of the protein, the plant-based protein, okay, protein. So therefore, the answer here would be D. So next, okay, we will continue to talk about the long question. For the structural question, I think many of you do get the idea. However, the answering skill would be a big problem. So by looking at it, okay, what would be the energy input? Okay, energy input. Energy input referring to the diet that we consume, okay, or when we intake. So in this case, we can see breakfast, lunch, and dinner would be the energy input, which would be the things that we consume. Okay. So now what we need to do, we will need to clearly mention that, okay, the energy input. Many of you did not um uh uh uh, would be did not mention about the energy input or the energy output. So I could not give you the mark because I could not recognize whether what you written down is energy input or energy output. So first of all, when we see that, okay, the energy input breakfast would be 3,500. And then next, okay, we will have 4,000. And then lastly, dinner would be 6,000. So by combining these three energy value together, we will form it will be one sorry 10,000 13,000 and 500. And many of you did not give me the unit. Okay, so remember every time when we do the calculation, you need to give me the unit. So therefore, the unit here would be kilojoule. And next, the energy output here. So for the energy output, okay, it would be the things or the work that we have done. So when we look at the activity, okay, for example, do homework, play TV games, watch TV, televisions, these would be the uh, possible activity that will consume the energy. So we will refer it that as the energy output. So in this case, it would be 2,000 plus 3,000 plus 1,500, and then lastly 1,000. So therefore, in total, there would be around let me do a quick calculation. Okay, so it would be 7,500 kilojoule. Again, it's important for you to include the unit. Okay, so if you did not show me the steps or the workings, and also if you did not have the unit, sorry, no mark will be given. Or if you did not tell me whether it is the energy input or whether it is the energy output, then sorry, I could not give you the marks. Next, okay, we need to compare. Okay, so it is important. Okay, we can see I already give you the hints. Okay, so it is important for you to mention some comparison terms. Okay, so we can see that the energy input. Okay, and that is a lot higher than the energy output. So in this case, there will be an accumulation of energy inside Jonathan's body. So this will cause Jonathan has the obesity. So therefore, okay, the energy input is larger or is greater or higher than the energy output. So then, okay, this excess energy will be accumulated, or we will say that this excess energy will be stored as fats, okay, in the body, okay. So the excess energy will be accumulated and stored as fat in their body. Okay, now Jonathan searched online to find out that a diet called what we call the lean meat diet. Okay, so what means lean meat diet? Okay, so lean meat diet in that it is a we are talking that we will eat the meat that contain less fat. Okay, so in this case, this can consume less energy. Okay, so based on the nutritional difference and also energy, we need to think about why this can help him reduce the energy intake. First of all, we need to state the first idea would be why lean meat is better than the fatty meat, because lean meat contain less fat than the fatty meats. But then, from less fat, lean meat to from fatty meat to lean meat, then in this case, we have less fat. So as less fat is consumed, we notice that originally fat has a very high energy value. Now, less fat meaning that we are reducing the energy intake. So this can reduce the energy intake of Jonathan. Okay, then after um after we have think of these, then you ask a question. Now here we got 3 mark. So how can we notice that? Oh, um, this can help him reduce weight. So we have the idea. Oh, it limits. It has less fat, and then it will reduce the energy intake. But then what would be the next step, or what would be why? We reduce the energy intake can help him reduce weight. This is because the expenditure, the energy expenditure in fact is low, is remain unchanged, but the intake is less than the energy expenditure. So in this case, as expenditure is higher than the energy intake, then in this case, it will reduce the weight. So energy intake is less than the energy expenditure. So therefore, it reduces weight. Okay. So next, do you agree if someone suggested that, suggests Jonathan to consume lean meat only in his meal? Explain your answer. So, absolutely, it would be not agree. It must be disagree. So why? Think it in this way. Uh, as a balanced diet, will we only eat the lean meat? No. We will also eat other food, for example, the fruit or the vegetables. Why? Because these food contain the dietary fiber or different types of vitamin and mineral. And these will, if we lack of these things, it will cause the deficiency disease. So therefore, we should not only consume the lean meat. So why? Because omission of dietary fiber in the diet may incur constipation. Okay, or maybe lack of vitamin or mineral may cause deficiency disease, which affects our health. Okay, so these would be some or how we answer it. Okay, I can see many of you do get the concept, but maybe slightly don't know how to, or maybe has a poor answering skills. So I would like you to take this opportunity or take these videos as a um, um, quick revisions. Okay, that what you have learned in 5.2. Okay, so feel free to let me know if you have any other question. So thank you very much and good luck for your chapter 5 quiz.